Please take your seats. Well, I'm going to speak in English and I'm going to speak in Greek, and you can use a translation. Everybody is able to speak on their own mother tongue, which I find very useful all the time. Καλησπέρα σας. Είναι ιδιαίτερη χαρά να φιλοξενούμε σήμερα στην Αθήνα την Υπουργική Προπαρασκευαστική Σύνοδο των Υπουργών Ευρωπαϊκών Υποθέσεων των Μεσογειακών Χωρών της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης. Είμαστε εδώ για να συζητήσουμε σοβαρά θέματα που απασχολούν τη χώρα μας και τις χώρες μας και τις γειτονιές μας. Και είμαστε εδώ για να αναζητήσουμε από κοινού λύσεις στις μεγάλες προκλήσεις της Μεσογείου, που για μας αποτελεί σημείο αναφοράς και βέβαια πεδίο ζωτικού ενδιαφέροντος για όλους μας. Καταρχάς, θα ήθελα να σας ενημερώσω ότι σήμερα τις εργασίες της Συνόδου μας τίμησε με την παρουσία του ο Πρωθυπουργός Κυριάκος Μητσοτάκης, ο οποίος ανέλησε και την δικιά μας στρατηγική για την μεσογειακή πολιτική, αλλά βέβαια και τα θέματα που έχουν να κάνουν με την πολιτική της διεύρυνσης της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης, της αντιμετώπισης του COVID, τα θέματα που έχουν να κάνουν με το Ταμείο Ανάκαμψης και βέβαια τα θέματα που έχουν να κάνουν με την ασφάλεια και τη σταθερότητα στην περιοχή και τις σχέσεις μας με την Τουρκία, αλλά και το ζωτικό κυπριακό ζήτημα. Παράλληλα, για πρώτη φορά στην απογευματινή μας συνεδρίαση θα συζητήσουμε και τα θέματα του θαλασσίου περιβάλλοντος, που είναι για μας ένα θέμα υψηλής προτεραιότητας, αφού αλλεπάλληλες εκθέσεις διεθνών οργανισμών έχουν αναδείξει τη σοβαρή περιβαλλοντική υποβάθμιση της Μεσογείου, της κοινής μας θάλασσας, από όπου περιμένουμε όχι μόνο οικονομικά ωφέλη, αλλά θέλουμε να κληρονομήσουμε ένα περιβάλλον αντίστοιχο με αυτό που παραλάβουμε στις επόμενες γενιές. Γι' αυτό και μαζί μας θα είναι το Ελληνικό Κέντρο Θαλασσίων Ερευνών και το ελληνικό παράρτημα του WWF, ώστε να μας παρουσιάσουν αυτές τις τελευταίες εξελίξεις. Γιατί χρειάζεται και από την Ευρώπη να αναλυφθούν πρωτοβουλίες μέσα από στοχευμένες πολιτικές για τη διατήρηση του θαλασσίου περιβάλλοντος. Κυρίαρχο ζήτημα υπήρξε το θέμα της συζήτησης γύρω από την πανδημία και την κινητικότητα. Με την υιοθέτηση του πράσινου ψηφιακού πιστοποιητικού, είμαστε έτοιμοι να υποδεχθούμε το εκατομμύρια των τουριστών που επιλέγουν τη θάλασσα της Μεσογείου για τις διακοπές τους, είτε προέρχονται από την Ευρώπη είτε από άλλες περιοχές του κόσμου. Παράλληλα όμως, έχουμε διαπιστώσει και μάθαμε μαθήματα, πολύ σοβαρά μαθήματα, για την οργάνωσή μας απέναντι σε τέτοιου είδους καταστάσεις όπως είναι η πανδημία που βιώσαμε. Εκφράστηκαν ήδη πολύ ενδιαφέρουσες απόψεις από το ρόλο τον οποίο έπαιξε ο δημόσιος τομέας και το πώς πρέπει να προσεχθεί και να αναβαθμιστεί ο δημόσιος τομέας τα επόμενα χρόνια, αλλά βεβαίως και το πώς θα αξιοποιήσουμε με τον καλύτερο δυνατό τρόπο τη γενναία χρηματοδότηση, η οποία έρχεται ως συνέπεια της οικονομικής κρίσης που συνοδεύει το COVID μέσα από το Next Generation EU. Είναι πολύ σημαντικό τα προγράμματα αυτά, τα οποία σχεδόν
by the EU member states, that is the national plans under the frame of the RRF. The ambitious objective is to have the first flows from the RRF allocated during this summer. Of course, another ambitious perspective and goal and objective for us is the green and digital transition, in order to have this energy mix transfer and also allow for our human capital resources and scientists to work in a competitive labor market environment. A couple of topics that I would like to touch upon once again. First, what has to do with migration. So migration is an issue of concern for us around the Mediterranean basin. We are all countries of first reception of migrants, and for our countries, this constitutes an extra burden, which we assume in a responsible manner and with solidarity, European solidarity. So European solidarity vis-à-vis the countries of first receptions has to be very tangible. So the mechanisms, the tools, the facilities, if you like, for a shared responsibility must be enforced, and in no case the first countries of reception at the level of the European Union should be left alone in order to address the increased inflows, but also the leverage and the pressure exercised in the frame of this migration issue, as has been the case with Greece and Spain. Because if this is the case, if we have this leverage in the frame of migration, we will become very vulnerable. So this is a topic that has been discussed under the umbrella of the new pact for migration and asylum. All Mediterranean countries strive in order to reach a common, let's say, objective, in order to ensure, first of all, a shared responsibility of those burdens, but also to ensure that there is an external perspective of the EU vis-à-vis migration before putting into place the new mechanisms, the new facilities as regards migration and asylum. The second point that I would like to focus on is that we all expressed our concern as regards Turkey and its stance vis-à-vis the safety and security challenges in our neighborhood, in the region. The colleagues have expressed their solidarity towards Greece and Cyprus as regards those security challenges, also as regards the Cyprus issue. We remain committed and attached to the EU Security Council resolutions, and we know that in the next a meeting at the level of the UN Security Council, the chapter Turkey will be on the agenda. This is a matter of concern for all European leaderships. And of course, we welcomed the de-escalation in situ between the Greek and Turkish relations. On the other hand, however, we underscored the fact that there has been no change in the rhetorics of Ankara. There may have been a slight de-escalation as regards the verbal expression of arguments and claims that have led us, let's say, to rather high verbalisms, but it is high time that we see a change as regards the rhetorics and see Turkey come closer to the European acquis. So with those thoughts, I would like to thank you once again for your presence. I also ought to thank my friend Anna Paula Zaccaria, who is still actually responsible as regards the EU presidency. And indeed, Portugal has assumed the EU presidency under a very difficult circumstances and succeeded in speeding up works as regards this agenda. And also, I would like to reiterate that we call upon all European citizens to actively, creatively participate in this dialogue and this consultation as regards the future of Europe. This is actually the podium via which the strong voice of the European citizens will be heard for our Europe, for the Europe of the next day. So I will give the floor to my colleagues. First of all, I will give the floor to my colleague on my right, Mrs. Anna Paula Zacarias. Once again, I would like to warmly thank all my colleagues for being here in Athens. We know that they all made an extra effort in order to be here present in Athens, but this is yet another proof that we are all committed to our objective to enhance and consolidate our commitment vis-à-vis the European Union and the Mediterranean.
And thank you so much for organizing this event in preparation of the summit of our leaders very soon here in Greece. I'm very happy to be here today, and I take this as a sign of hope for better times to come. It's very good to be together. If you allow me, I will continue in Portuguese, because the European Union is also about multilingualism and diversity. Para nós, para Portugal, que neste momento tem a presidência da União Europeia, é extremamente útil e interessante poder estar aqui hoje em Atenas.
This is an extremely useful meeting, the one that's taking place in Athens, because we have the opportunity to debate among EU member states the political problems of the southern zone of the EU. We can discuss issues of our agenda. We have discussed issues of strategic importance, our relations with Turkey, the situation in the Eastern Mediterranean, as well as the very important issue of migration, which of course is of concern to all southern EU member states. We have all decided to proceed on the basis of three aspects of this file. First of all, how we can integrate migrants, how are we going to deal with the external borders of the EU so that Schengen can re-emerge as a reality after the pandemic, and finally, our relations with the third countries. It is necessary for us to forge partnership relations with countries in Africa in a manner that will allow us to act in a way that is compatible with what we want to achieve at the level of the EU. We have learned a number of things from the pandemic. We want to create a more sustainable, a greener, a more digital, more innovative and cohesive future for the EU. Our positions on all these issues are quite similar. We need to set up structures that will allow us to deal with any future crisis consistently. We need to be able to deal with the new problems in possibly different sectors. We need to be able to react, and mostly we will have issues related to the pharma industry and other industries where we need to have some self-sufficiency to be able to act somewhat independently without, of course, questioning issues related to the open and free trade and to be open vis-à-vis the rest of the world. We have also discussed the need to build a more innovative Europe. We have discussed all of the files related to the digital sector. We have advanced issues such as digital services and connectivity. These are all very important for every single country of South Europe. We have also discussed the importance of approving the climate law. This is important both for Portugal and all the other EU members of the South. We will now seek ways to discuss the issues in order to find practical solutions for implementation. The time has come for us to act in order to achieve economic recovery that has to be inclusive, green, and digital. Now, as far as the social issues are concerned, we have said that it is very important to maintain the spirit of the recent Portugal Social Summit. We need social Europe, a social Europe that is resilient, that is strong, that can deal with the green and the digital transition that are going to take place simultaneously. We have also discussed the issues related to the conference on the future of Europe and how we, the 7 countries of the South, can be able to bring forward the issues that are more closely related to us within the conference. How we will be able to organize some events or activities that will involve citizens as well. So, as far as recovery is concerned, it has been discussed, as well as the EU own resources. The EU can provide resources in the framework of the Resilience and Recovery Fund, and we have discussed specific issues that will hopefully be approved by the European Commission and the Council soon, so that they can become be used in practice as soon as possible. These are all the issues that bring the EU countries of the Mediterranean together. We all are like-minded as regards these issues. It has been a great advantage for us to be supported by all our colleagues and all the governments present here during our presidency. Miltiadis, thank you very much. Thank you for the hospitality. Hopefully, we will be able to continue the dialogue at the level of heads of state and government in Crete.
Miss Anna Paula, thank you very much. Dear Clément, thank you. Bienvenue à d'Athènes. C'est un grand plaisir
It is a great pleasure to have you with us, Clément, and
to come to Athens and join us. So, I give you the floor.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Ministre.
Thank you very much, dear Minister, dear Miltiadis, dear colleagues. Indeed, it has not been an easy task to make this travel. However, it is with great pleasure that we have met here in Athens, because indeed this format has been proven to be a very valuable format of cooperation at the level of the Mediterranean countries of which are also EU member states. So we have been, I would say, very spontaneously in an agreement as regards the topics of discussion. Also, this has been an opportunity for us to prepare the various works as regards the summit, which will take place at the level of the European dialogue and consultation that will take place at the level of the Ministers of Foreign Affairs of EU Med7. So once again, I would like to thank Miltiadis for taking this opportunity to bring us all together and prepare the meeting, the summit that will take place after this summer. So we have had the opportunity to exchange views on very topical issues, and we have established that there is a converging point of view on various topics. I wouldn't like to reiterate what has been said so far. However, I would like to focus on a couple of those issues. First of all, we need to jointly address the various challenges, and little by little we are exiting this health, economic and crisis of COVID. And we have achieved to work together with determination, with solidarity, not only at the level of this working group, of this format, but also beyond that. So Europe indeed has been able to address this issue and respond in a European manner. So we have been able to contribute, but more than that, to set up, to construct all those initiatives. And I would like to thank on this occasion Ana Paula and the Portuguese presidency for this achievement, because indeed we have been able to start and kick off this RRF plan based on the green and digital transition. This involves, of course, very important funds at the level of this transition, and this will be able to give the possibility to Europe not only to innovate, but also to better regulate. And indeed, we have seen actually the kickoff of major digital platforms, and we are going to fund more innovation projects for Europe, because we want to be the continent of excellence, innovation, and of course, the revamp at the economic level. So I would like to thank you once again. There have been very important proposals and projects during the last couple of weeks in order to be able to translate our actions in specific objectives. This has to do, of course, with the climate neutrality and the reduction of CO2 emissions. And of course, we have put in place this mechanism for the decrease of CO2 emissions, and this will give us the possibility to put in place in practice all those initiatives and the facility. Dear Paula, indeed, you have made excellent efforts as regards the social pillar and the social rights. We will be able to consolidate together and reinforce together in the coming months via various important European chapters, specific issues as regards the minimum wage, as regards the social pillar of rights, as regards also the acceptability and solidarity after the crisis era at the level of our European societies. Once again, I would like to insist on the health issues per se, and this has been a crisis against which Europe was not prepared, was not armed, if you like. So we must not minimize the European solidarity, especially as regards vaccinations, and we need to defend it, because this European solidarity, and without it rather, our condition would have been much worse. This solidarity has helped us to exit the crisis, to prepare ourselves better, and to be able at the social level, at the economic level, tourism level, to be able to regain our pace. And indeed, we have had the possibility and the advantage via this European medicinal agency and health agency to be better prepared. Of course, the migratory issue is at the heart of our exchanges, of our concerns. We have always expressed via a spirit of solidarity and collaboration, exchange our views. France supports the reform of policies as regards migration, as regards also migration flows and asylum, and in order to protect as well the Schengen area. So we have reaffirmed our total solidarity of our country, France, vis-à-vis Greece and Cyprus against this provocation, which unfortunately still exists in the Eastern Mediterranean area. Once again, solidarity, determination, open determination. This is very clear that has been expressed in order to ensure together the sovereignty, the stability of our member states of the Eastern Mediterranean. We are always open, of course, to discuss with Turkey in particular in this spirit of solidarity, however, with unity and determination, which has characterized our stance across those months. So this is a support not only via the EU member states, but this is a support of the European power, if you like. In the next coming months, we will have the responsibility to promote the French presidency of the European Union, which will start the next year, January 2022. And with the same dynamism, enthusiasm, we will be able to prepare this. And this is going to be, I believe, as successful as the Portuguese presidency. And I would like to congratulate the Portuguese presidency and Ana Paula for the successful presidency. Thank you.
And now I give the floor to the ambassador, of Spain, that he is substituting our friend Juan, who wasn't able to come on a short notice. This, dear ambassador, dear Enrique, please, you have the floor.
Muchas gracias, Miltiades. Y muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Miltiades. I would like to thank you very warmly for organizing this very topical meeting, because it is preparation for this very important summit that will take place in Crete in September. This is going to be an important summit because Med7 is a group of EU member states that is of great importance at this point in time. Important issues of European interest are currently being discussed here. Very often, we need to coordinate our interests to bring our positions together so as to promote what we discuss and promote. Med is very important. Med5 met last week and discussed a number of issues. Med7 is now important because also we have France with us that has a position of responsibility within the EU. We believe that this is how what we decide are going to be better taken into account. This morning, we debated the important issues of our social activities, the policy as regards the pandemic, tourism, which is all important for all of our member states, and we need to welcome the fact that the EU position was correct. Thanks to the efforts of the Portuguese presidency, which I would like to thank very warmly. I would like to thank the responsible person. You have done very good work during your presidency. As regards the EU vaccination certificate, the efforts started in time. This is, I must say, an initiative by Prime Minister Mitsotakis. He thought that the issue was very important, and our Prime Minister Petros Sanchez supported him not only within the EU but also within the OECD. This had to become a reality because this is very important for our tourism. I must tell you that the certificates have been prepared in a coordinated manner, both for domestic and for foreign travel, and are now being used since a number of days. As far as the EU funds of the RRF, things are moving. The issue of the own resources is also advancing. As you will see in the final communiqué, the final statement, we need to complete all the necessary preparations so as to be able, as soon as possible, hopefully in September, but certainly by the end of the year, to complete this effort. The countries that have submitted plans for the RRF need to be funded as soon as possible so that they can be able to implement them. We have also discussed the issue of Turkey and the issue of the Eastern Mediterranean in general. The Spanish delegation welcomes the recently promoted positive position of recent weeks. It seems that a re-engagement of the dialogue with Turkey is going to resume, between Greece and Turkey, that is. Some steps have been taken at the level of the foreign ministers. The Turkish foreign minister visited Greece a few days ago. President Erdogan and Prime Minister Mitsotakis are going to meet in a few days, and we believe, we hope rather, that this positive impetus may be fruitful at the bilateral and also at the multilateral level. The positive agenda that was also discussed at the EU level, at the level of the High Commissioner, can have a positive outcome. We will also discuss the issue of migration and asylum. This is of concern to our countries for a number of years. I should also like to thank the Portuguese presidency for their efforts to help us make advances in this very difficult and file that is of great concern to all our countries. There must be an equilibrium between the principles of responsibility and solidarity. What we see in the different happening in the different discussions related to different files is that they are not altogether satisfactory. But we are hopeful and we trust that the next Slovenian presidency and the French presidency that will follow will be able to further promote these issues in a decisive manner. Let me repeat. It is very important that France is a member of Med7. To us, this is a guarantee that the Mediterranean dimension will be strengthened in favor of all of us. We have also discussed and agreed on a number of conclusions. This afternoon, we will look at the issues in detail. We are aware that the ministers of interior also discussed the issues a few days ago in Portugal. We are gradually preparing the debate of the summit. So once again, thank you to our host country, thank you to Greece, and let me repeat that I would like to apologize on behalf of our minister because he was unable to attend. Thank you.
Περνάμε στον αγαπημένο φίλο, τον Υπουργό Εξωτερικών της Κυπριακής Δημοκρατίας, τον Νίκο Χριστοδουλίδη, ο οποίος...
And now I will give the floor to my dear friend, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Cyprus, my dear friend Nikos Christodoulidis. Thank you very much, Miltiadis. First of all, I would like to start by warmly thanking my dear friend Miltiadis, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, for an excellent organization as well as hospitality and welcoming behavior. So the EU Med7 dialogue and meetings, as well as our coordination and collaboration among us as member states in order to address the various challenges, in order to promote our positions within the big European family that we all belong to, is no doubt of a paramount importance. Indicative of this fact is the fact that we see that there are more parties and more stakeholders that are interested to join forces with us in this EU Med group. So the importance of this EU Med collaboration has been even more put forward by this unprecedented pandemic crisis that we have been experiencing. So there is a critical importance to have a jointly coordinated response at the level of the European Union. And I will subscribe to what Clément has said, that if we hadn't been members of the EU, if we hadn't been all members of this family of solidarity, we wouldn't have been able to respond at the level of vaccination in the same manner that we have responded so far, successfully, that is. Therefore, the critical importance of a coordinated action with the objective to be able to have a phased-in, let's say, come back to normalcy as soon as possible, and to restart our economies given the importance of tourism. And of course, tourism is even more important for us all, member states of the Mediterranean. So at the level of this very important environment, the support of the European Union's RRF, this facility is very, very much of importance for us, because this will transform our economies more resilient to respond to such crisis and be able to transform the crises into opportunities. This will give us the opportunity to transform our economies and make them more competitive. They will be able to respond to the current, let's say, challenges, amongst others, digital transition, green transition, and not only that, and I will agree with Anna Paula, in the same manner, they will also promote at the same time the social pillars, the social Europe. Beyond that, our meeting today is an excellent opportunity to exchange views and also to, let's say, shape a common position vis-à-vis another problem that is that Europe is addressing, especially for us, countries that are at the forefront. And I'm referring to migration. Everybody agrees that in order to address efficiently the disproportionately larger inflows of migrations into Europe and the member states of Europe, we need to ensure the new pact for migration and asylum will be based on an equilibrium, on a balance, that we need to strike a balance between responsibility and solidarity. In the same manner, it is very important to stress the importance of enhanced collaboration with third countries in order to avert illegal inflows into Europe, taking into account, of course, their concerns, their needs, their priorities as well. We are convinced that the adoption of an all-encompassing migration policy, taking into account and addressing in an effective manner sensitivities and particularities, if you like, or specificities of the member states will be beneficial, amongst others, for a smooth operational functioning of the Schengen area. No doubt this is one of the most important achievements of the EU. Actually, this is a symbol of the European unification. Cyprus, the Republic of Cyprus, being a member state at the forefront, is called upon in the recent years to address an unprecedented situation due to the fact that we have seen a disproportionate increase of the inflows of migrants. Unfortunately, this continues to be a situation that concerns us all, specifically because we have seen human pain and human suffering being used as a tool of leverage and pressure, and also because Turkey denies to, let's say, meet its obligations as regards Cyprus and the European Union as regards the EU-Turkey Pact for Migration. Ladies and gentlemen, we have also had the opportunity to exchange views as regards developments in the Eastern Mediterranean, our common efforts to enhance our collaboration with countries of our southern neighborhood. We are convinced that Eastern Mediterranean, which is very important at the geopolitical and geostrategical level, also for the European Union, can be an area of stability, peace, and well-being and prosperity. This is our vision. To this direction we work. And we expand the network of collaboration with like-minded states in the region, always on the basis of an approach without leaving any country behind, and the only prerequisite is to be respectful of the international law and good neighborhood relations. Unfortunately, lately we have been witnessing, as far as we are concerned, an aggressive policy on behalf of Turkey against a Mediterranean EU member state. Threats to restart non-legal actions against the Cyprus economic exclusive zone, and by actually creating in the enclosed area of Amohostos de facto situations. So by using, let's say, a violent stance, they want to promote a solution as regards the Cyprus issue, which goes actually beyond what has been already agreed, but also against EU principles and values. But also, this is equally important as we speak against the vast majority of the opinion of the wish of the Cypriot population, both Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots. The UN Security Council is about to examine and discuss all the matters and the issues under the thematic and the chapter of the relations between the EU and Turkey. Indeed, we can only hope that there will be such outcomes at the level of the European Council, rather. I apologize, not the UN Council, the European Council, that the outcomes and the results will be such that will reflect the wish to play a geopolitical role and convey the message that the fundamental principle of the EU as regards solidarity among its member states is not a blank letter, and it is not restricted to public statements. And this is precisely our concern in our case, that it will have the potential to deter, if you like, and to act in deterrence against any fait accompli. In conclusion, I would like to thank once again Miltiadis and to reiterate our will and volition to further consolidate and enhance our common collaboration and coordination to the benefit of our countries, to the benefit of the countries of the Mediterranean, as well as to all the member states of the European Union.
Thank you, Nikos. Thank you for these kind words.
Enzo Amendola, il vice ministro per.
So I will now give the floor to my dear friend, the State Secretary of the Prime Minister's Office of European Affairs of the Italian Republic. Thank you very much. Thank you to the Greek government, to the Greek Alto Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Hellenic Republic, the Med7, which is a family that is about to grow, is going to become larger from between now and the Crete summit. It is not a family that is only brought together because of its history, of the wealth of the Mediterranean, and of all these elements that have made Europe great. It's brought together also by its resilience, its ability to find solutions in demanding periods, in critical points of time. Last year, we have decided a declaration asking Europe to take steps to deal with the difficult situation, and this has led to the Next Generation Europe. We are brought together by the fact that we are able to find solutions to the issues that are of concern to Europe. Maybe our history has made us more resilient, more able to deal with problems, and this became quite obvious during the 18 months of the pandemic. It is not by chance that the digital vaccination certificate was a Greek initiative implemented by the Portuguese presidency. It is not by chance that the EU, Slovenian and the French presidency will take over the presidency at a very critical point in time in Europe's history. We will be just coming out of the tunnel and working towards a return to normality. We know that Europe needs to continue to change, and the conference on the future of Europe is a very important meeting point for us. We need to reopen the way towards rediscovering the beauty and the wealth of our continent. When we discuss growth and investments, we are talking about the impetus, which is the result of European mechanism. but it has been accused, which was accused unfairly. This is a mechanism that has always been present. Our cooperation is proof of that. As we come out of the pandemic, we need to have a pact, an agreement on migration that will go beyond national interests and discussions that goes. We need to convey and transfer we are the countries that convey the European culture to the Middle East and to Africa. And we need to be show solidarity. We need to have a vision, a very clear geopolitical vision. We need to be a Europe that is open to the migratory flows, Europe that does not close its gates, but at the same time is able to manage this challenge in the best possible way. And this is going to be an issue to be debated at the European Council, a better way to deal with the issue of migration that will make Europe not more closed, but more open. We also need to promote the Paris Climate Agreement, since the issue of sustainability is cross-cutting all European policies. Tourism, digital transition, employment, the two great transitions, the digital and the green transition, are going to be serving the Mediterranean, its historic beauty, and are going to promote its economy and promote investments. Green transition is our future for the coming decades. I very warmly thank the Greek government for this excellent job in order to maintain the group and its unity to prepare in preparation of the summit in Crete. We are celebrating the recovery of a Europe that is coming out of the tunnel and is promoting economic and social growth. We have always been committed to proposals, to ability to keep Europe united, even when selfishness was quite apparent. So we hope that the work that is going to take place within the framework of the Conference on the Future of Europe and the plenary in Strasbourg on the 18th and 19th of this month will be an important step for Europe.
The Maltese participation.
Thank you, Miltiadis. Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for the Greek government for organizing this conference. When we meet together, the Med7, we are meeting in order to discuss our common challenges, our common goals, our common solutions. And the discussions that we had this morning confirm how close we need to work together in order to ensure that within the European Union, the Mediterranean dimension is well represented in all the decisions taken. Our region, I would say, due to the pandemic, has suffered from common situations, particularly from the lack of freedom of movement. We are all countries that depend a lot on tourism, and the lack of freedom of movement has left an indelible mark. However, with the initiatives that we have put forward and that we have worked together, both as Mediterranean countries, together with all of the European Union, as well as the institutions, today we are seeing that solutions are in hand and that change is on its way. And this shall mean the safeguarding of jobs, economic growth, and more creation of wealth in our region in particular. I must also make a reference that these changes must also be tightly knit together with the need for the economic recovery and for the need of more resilience. We had the opportunity to have a close look as to how we shall recover economically whilst making two important transitions, the environmental transition as well as the digital transition. We have challenges. This shall bring about challenges, not only challenges, but also opportunities. But we must ensure that in this transition that we carry out, we do not leave people behind. And these transitions must not only be transitions simply to achieve targets, but they have to be transitions that are also taking care for the need for more opportunities for people. I must also refer to the importance of the discussions that we must not only have today, but continue to work hard with regard to the issue of migration. Our countries face a lot of challenges in relation to migration, and we need to have new solutions for this reality that we have been facing for too long. We need to address this matter with new solutions. We need to see how to address at source the question of migration. We must ensure that this reality is also tackled with real, tangible solidarity at EU level. Unfortunately, there has been a lot of talk over the years, yet we have not found the right solutions so far. We need to work together further as Med7, yet we need to see that at European level, this is not a problem of us countries at the frontier, yet it is a European problem and has to be treated as such. Which brings about the necessity that we continue to see how to address the realities in the eastern region of the Mediterranean and the de-escalation that is necessary in the realities, particularly with regard to Turkey, as well as strengthening the southern neighborhood discussion, where we need to see that Europe engages further with the southern neighborhood. If you allow me, I would like to say a few words in my native language, like all of you have done, if that's okay with you. Illum hawnhekk ġewwa Ateni kellna l-opportunità illi inħarsu b'mod realistiku lejn is-soluzzjonijiet illi
Unfortunately, I believe that only the Maltese participants can understand the minister.
Bitwaqqif tal-moviment ħieles tal-persuni. Il-moviment ħieles tal-persuni wassal sabiex tkun hemm tnaqqis drastiku, anzi kważi totali, ta' wieħed mill-aktar settur importanti għalina l-pajjiżi tal-Mediterran. Il-pajjiżi illi aħna nibbażaw ħafna l-ekonomija tagħna fuq il-qasam tat-turiżmu. Illum qegħdin naraw kif is-soluzzjonijiet li għandna f'idejna se jagħtuna triq il quddiem u nibdew noħorġu minn din ir-realtà li ġabet magħha l-pandemija.
Let me repeat. There is no possibility to translate from the Maltese language, so I believe only the Maltese journalists can understand the minister.
Dan jorbot ukoll ma' dak li huwa l-irkupru ekonomiku. Irkupru li rridu nwettqu bil-bidliet importanti lejn it-tranzizzjoni kemm dik diġitali kif ukoll dik ambjentali. Dawn huma bidliet importanti li jridu jseħħu iżda ma nistgħu qatt inħallu lin-nies warajna u n-nies jridu jkunu parti minn dik it-tranzizzjoni li rridu nagħmlu biex niksbu dan l-irkupru ekonomiku. Dan iwassalni wkoll għal ħtieġa li nkomplu nitkellmu bejnietna bħala pajjiżi tal-Mediterran iżda mhux nitkellmu biss imma naraw li nsibu s-soluzzjonijiet għal dak li għandu x'jaqsam dwar il-migrazzjoni. Ilna wisq nerfgħu piżijiet kbar bħala pajjiżi tal-Mediterran f'dan ir-rigward u hemm bżonn li fuq livell tal-Unjoni Ewropea ikun hemm soluzzjonijiet tanġibbli, b'solidarjetà tanġibbli u bil-mod illi nistgħu nindirizzaw bl-aħjar mod possibbli din ir-realtà u anke naraw kif nindirizzaw minn fejn temmani r-realtà tal-migrazzjoni. U allura l-ħtieġa li jkun hemm aktar diskussjoni sija mod partikolari mal-pajjiżi tan-naħa t'isfel tal-Unjoni Ewropea fil-waqt illi naraw illi jkollna wkoll it-tnaqqis ta' tensjonijiet fin-naħa tal-Vant tal-Mediterran illi dan huwa wkoll qasam importanti li tkellimna bosta dwaru u anke għandna pożizzjonijiet komuni dwar dak li nemmnu li għandu jkun it-triq quddiem. Mill-ġdid, Militiadis, nirringrazzjak tal-ospitalità, nirringrazzja lill-Gvern Grik ta' dan l-avveniment u nirringrazzja hawnhekk il-sħabi kollha tal-opportunità li kellna ta' diskussjoni mill-aktar franka. Grazzi.
Well, thank you, everybody. We are moving to our lunch, and I think that I can announce that we are going to have after lunch also the circulation of the joint statement of our today's meeting. Thank you very much.